The importance of a captivating opening scene. The opening scene of any book is a promise that sets the tone of your book. It's the first point of contact to your readers. If well written, it allows your readers to imagine and anticipate the coming story in their minds. Isn't it exciting to think about how that first impression can draw readers in? Many writers find themselves wrestling with their opening scenes, and it's completely understandable. As a writer, you want to kick off this journey in a way that keeps your readers engaged and eager to turn the page. After all, life is too short to consume subpar art, and you don't want to be the one serving. There's no denying that the first page, specifically the initial 250 words, is your story's make or break stage. In these 250 make or break words, your reader, whether it's an editor, a literary agent, a curious bookstore browser, a library patron, or an enthusiastic book lover, will decide whether to keep reading or to close the book for good. The best advice you'll ever hear about crafting a killer opening scene is to assume that the reader is in a terrible mood when they open your book. Because of that, you can't afford to think you have until page 2 to win them over. Engage immediately. Doing anything else is at your peril.
Opening techniques to hook your readers.
Number 1. Stolen prologue. In this opener, the climax scene is pulled from the middle or end of the book and placed at the front as a prologue. A stolen prologue can also be an intriguing glimpse into the future of the present, or a summary of the past that reveals something significant happening later in the book. For example, A Pale View of Hills by Kazuo Ishiguro. Nikki, the name we finally gave my younger daughter, is not an abbreviation. It was a compromise I reached with her father. For paradoxically, it was he who wanted to give her a Japanese name, and I, perhaps out of some selfish desire not to be reminded of the past, insisted on an English one. This opening draws you in with its nervous, halting voice, while hinting at the deeper tensions between past and present, mother and father, England and Japan. Number 2. Introduce change. This type of opening establishes the main character's world as it is, an ordinary day just before the inciting incident shakes everything up. Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin is a perfect example. Everyone has always said that John would be a preacher when he grew up, just like his father. It had been said so often that John, without ever thinking about it, had come to believe it himself. Not until the morning of his 14th birthday did he really begin to think about it. And by then, it was already too late. The clarity of Baldwin's language is delicious, revealing how brutal and controlling an inherited story can be, and how the repeated words of others can shape one's life. Still, it shows us who our character is, what John used to know, and it points to the moment of change. The morning of his 14th birthday. Number 3. Backstory. Dramatized flashback, dream, flash forward. This type of opening injects a prologue or first chapter with a flashback that takes a pivotal event or memory from a character's past, establishing where the story's problem originated and immersing us in the heart of the drama. For example, Mrs. Bridge by Evan S. Connell. Her first name was India. She was never able to get used to it. It seemed to her that her parents must have been thinking of someone else when they named her. Or were they hoping for another sort of daughter? As a child, she was often on the point of inquiring, but time passed and she never did. The sense of exasperation and estrangement is palpable here. In her article, Where to Begin, When, Where, and How to Write a Prologue, Lythal Talmore emphasizes the importance of revealing a defining moment in the protagonist's past to help the reader understand the character. She notes, "Think how cold and alien Batman would be if we hadn't first seen young Bruce standing bewildered over the bodies of his parents." By offering insight into a character's internal conflicts stemming from external circumstances through flashbacks, dreams, or flash forwards, you can create instant intrigue. Number 4. Start with action. I can't recall when I first heard this quote, but a writer once said, "Don't waste time. Begin the story at the last possible moment." While this always brings a smile, it perfectly captures the essence of this method. Get to the point with your opening, but start where something exciting is happening. Whatever conflict or inciting incident catapults your story should be present from the very first sentence. For example, A Billionaire's Guide by Eden Spice. Yes, right there, right there. Her moans filled the room. Her toned body and beautiful form were enough to drive any man crazy. I solved the aching of her lips with the cooling of my tongue. Her red hair spread like a sunset on a desert's plain. She was beautiful. Her voice, music to my ears. Her body had begun to move at a pace of her own, struggling to keep up with me. This opening scene plunges us right into the action, leaving readers eager to discover what happens next. If you're a writer who's struggling with your opening scene, try out any of these. You can grab a copy of my recently published novel, A Billionaire's Guide, for free by clicking on the link below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And be sure to turn on post notifications so you're the first to know when there's a new video. Happy writing!